Your inner wisdom has not left you. It does not leave you, but it kind of turns into more of a background hum than a prevalent voice. Back to the pod. I'm your host, Megan Winkler, and today we are talking about why burnout makes it hard to trust yourself. And I think right now, especially beginning of February 2026, we are collectively experiencing burnout. And at the same time, this is pretty timeless information. So even if you come across this episode several years later, you will definitely get value out of this. So as we dive in, I want to talk a little bit about the fact that your inner wisdom never goes away. But burnout makes us question that. And so, this is why a lot of times when we hear, just listen to yourself, listen to your intuition, just, trust your gut, whatever, can really feel impossible during burnout. And we're going to get into all of this. So, let's just dive right on in. And I guess before I do that, I just want to say I love you. And thank you so much for listening. And I hope that you find a lot of value out of this episode. Have you ever felt like you're disconnected from your intuition, your magic, your spirituality, and you're just kind of like, where did this energy go? Where did this connection go? I want you to know that your magic, your intuition, your inner wisdom does not disappear during times of overwhelm, stress, or burnout. It just gets quiet. Your brain is very much trying to keep you alive 24/7, 365. And when you're stressed out, it's even more focused on that. So parts of our brain that would be focusing on intuition, on compassion, on all of these things are getting resources pulled from them so that our heart keeps beating, we keep digesting food, our bodies are keep breathing themselves, all of these things. Because when we're in a stress response, which is how burnout comes about, our bodies are stressed and wanting to keep us alive. Okay. So what we're not going to do today is we're not going to try to force our intuition to come back online. We are instead going to talk about ways to stay connected in small, safe ways so that you can continue to trust yourself no matter what's going on in the world. Okay. So chronic stress, like I said, will narrow our perception of what's going on. So we're in this survival mode, right? When we're dealing with a lot of stress, we are in survival mode in a big way. And so what that does is it favors efficiency over nuance. And our intuition, our inner wisdom is quite nuanced. It's little signals, it's tiny whispers, it's little nudges from the back of your mind. It's chills on your arm. It's dream messages. It's moments of meditational awareness, right? These are all things that when we're focused on the big picture of trying to get through the shit, we are not going to be able to focus on. Okay. So these signals get quieter. They get harder to find. And your intuition feels like suddenly it's gotten really quiet. But what I want you to know here is that it's not that it's gotten quiet, it's that everything else around it has gotten really loud. And when you are not feeling super connected with your magic and your intuition, it's often because your body and your spirit and your mind and your energy are in a protective response. They are protecting you during times of stress. So that is why, like, if somebody just go with your gut or whatever, it's just so freaking hard Because if you're going to go with your gut, if you're going to listen to your intuition, if you're going to trust your magic, if you're going to listen to the inner yes, that requires a couple of things. It requires some spaciousness to allow the answers to come in their own time. It also requires a sense of safety. And when we are in a stress response, when we are feeling overwhelmed, when we are just in a constant barrage of information and stressful, fearful things, this doesn't create trust and safety within our body. And along those lines, that trust in our body is something that we have to practice. Okay. So trust your gut doesn't always work when you're feeling burnout. Your nervous system is scanning for threats. It is scanning online, in person. It is scanning the room. It is listening to all these little noises that are happening kind of ambiently around you that normally would not trigger you, but make you jump, right? So because everything else is louder, these subtle signals of our gut, our intuition, our magic are really hard to detect. Your inner wisdom has not left you. It does not leave you, but it kind of turns into more of a background hum than a prevalent voice. Now, sometimes we accidentally can disconnect from our inner wisdom, and it happens to all of us. So I don't want you to feel ashamed about it. I don't want you to think, oh, I should have known better, anything like that. But when we are over intellectualizing, which is very easy to do this time of year, all current events aside, we're in Capricorn season, who's very focused, driven, that workhorse of the zodiac. And then we're in Aquarius season. Aquarius is the big thinker of the zodiac, big brain energy. We got to overthink. We got to intellectualize all the things. So when you are over intellectualizing things, especially decisions, you're not really listening to your body. You're not really tapping into that inner wisdom. You're just overthinking the shit out of it. Okay. Asking everyone else before you check in with yourself. If you're looking for external validation, external confirmation as well, before you're checking in with yourself, you're going to turn the volume down on your inner wisdom and on your intuition. If you are moving too fast to just get it over with, whatever it is, we're also turning the volume down on that intuition. Sometimes we ignore bodily cues because they're inconvenient. Maybe we need to go to the doctor. Maybe we're starting to get a sniffle and we need to take a nap and it's just inconvenient, right? Or when we treat our intuition as something that should be certain, it's going to disrupt. What's the word I'm thinking of? It's going to wreck, for lack of a better word, it's going to wreck your self-trust if you are bound and determined to see your intuition as something that is certain. It's not certain. It is true. But sometimes your intuition makes no logical sense. And it's still true. But if you're looking for that logical certainty, it's going to wreck it, right? So this is when these tiny moments of self-abandonment happen. And it happens so much easier when you're stressed out, when you're in burnout mode. Okay. So in order to combat this very natural, very human tendency to become disconnected from our inner voice, there are a few ways that we can stay connected even when our capacity is low. Okay, we can listen without feeling the need to act or fix something. We can notice nudges without feeling the need to immediately decide something. We can allow signals to exist without interpretation, in other words. A lot of times when we're stressed, we want to jump to a decision, we want to jump to a fix, we want to jump to a solution. That is not always the case, and that is not always what we need to be doing, right? That's not always the best thing to do. So this could look like naming a sensation instead of making it mean something. Like, oh, I just got some butterflies in my stomach. Just kind of notice what's happening around you. It doesn't have to be any deeper than that. Tracking what feels depleting versus nourishing. So, energetic containers, if you have never set up energetic containers, I will have a course on my site very, very soon to help you learn how to do that. If you've worked with me before, you know what that's like. So just tapping back into what feels nourishing, what feels depleting, what feels aligned with your energy and what doesn't. And then letting answers like, I don't know yet, or I need to get back with you, be valid answers. They are valid answers, my friend. So here's a simple practice that you can do at any point in your day. You can do it multiple times a day, whatever works for you. Okay. It is a 2-minute wisdom check. So what you're going to do is you're going to ask, what am I noticing in my body right now? So you may not notice a whole lot. Like right now, I notice there's cool air on my neck because it's in the 50s outside. My hair's up on top of my head. So I notice that. I notice I'm hungry because it's lunchtime. I notice some tightness in my hips. And I notice my feet are warm because I'm in my slippers. And then ask yourself, what would support me today without trying to fix anything? So what would support me today? Water. I'm just a big water nut and I've only had coffee so far today. Eating a nourishing lunch would definitely support me. Let's see, what else? Candles come to mind. So maybe I'll light a candle because that always makes me feel warm and cozy. What else? Playing with Trudy. Yeah. So you don't need to journal. You don't need to take action. You can just kind of listen to what's up. Because really, I'm going to be drinking water. I'm going to be playing with Trudy. I'm going to be eating lunch, so I might as well make it nourishing. Like that's kind of a to-do, kind of a fix, but not really. So it's just very simple. Like just check in with your body. What do you need? I might need to like, I don't know, turn my fan off or go put a scarf on because the back of my neck is a little cold. It's not a big deal. Literally, you saw me run through it just now. And what this is going to do is it's going to do 3 things. One, it's going to rebuild your relationship with your body and your inner wisdom without any pressure, right? So it's not like, oh my gosh, my neck is feeling cold. So that's connected with my throat chakra, which sits between, my third eye and my heart chakra. And I wonder if I'm having this trouble like communicating with No, my neck's cold. It's fine. It's 55 degrees outside and I've got the fan on to keep the air moving around and I don't have hair on my neck right now. That's it. It's fine. No pressure. No pressure. It also signals safety to your nervous system because you're actively listening to your body. When we actively listen to our body, our nervous system goes, oh, okay, all right, they're listening. Cool. And it also keeps the channel open even during periods of burnout recovery or high stress or whatever's going on. Keeping that channel of communication open is so, so essential. Okay. So when you feel like your body is starting to come down out of the stress response, you're going to be able to then feel things that are a little quieter, a little deeper. You will also be able to start moving a little slower and allowing your wisdom to lead again. We are not robots. We do not operate at the same level of energy or enthusiasm or anything like that every day, all day, forever and ever. We just don't. And so this is moving with those waves of stress, uncertainty, questioning, all of that, and allowing some space for our inner wisdom to pop in. Okay. When you are connecting with your inner wisdom, your intuition, your magic, you are creating a consistent connection, right? So it's not about how intense it's going to be. So you don't have to like go into a big deep meditation or create this big elaborate ritual or sit down and journal for 3 hours. If you want to, go for it, but you don't have to. It's not about the doing so much as it is building the relationship and doing it consistently. So asking yourself once a day, what does my body need? Asking other questions like, what's one way to experience joy today? What's one way to take care of myself? Asking these questions creates that consistent connection. You do not have to be healed. You do not have to be perfect. You do not have to be non-stressed and totally chill to have access to your inner wisdom. This is not a light switch. It's not a either or. It's a both and situation. You can be both stressed and connected to your inner wisdom. You can be both really concerned with what's going on in the world and find joy at home. You know, whatever that is, both and, both and. And I want you to notice this week those moments when you are listening to yourself, and just notice what feels different, what shifts for you, and how you are able to kind of ramp up your mindfulness for the week. Because that's one of the ways we get through day-to-day challenges, atrocities in the world around us, and everything in between. Right? And it's really through this connection, this gentle invitation to ourselves to listen and respond with love and self-compassion. And it's through these connections that we build resilience. So I hope this helps. And it's a little bit of a shorter episode, but we don't need to be inundated with all the information, right? But if you love this podcast, I love it, and I'm glad you're here. So I want to invite you to join my Patreon. You can join for free, or you can select a paid tier that works for your budget. And I appreciate all of my paid Patreon supporters because you make this podcast possible and help me create with a sustainability factor in mind. So just go over to patreon.com and find the Glow Up Circle. I've recently revamped the front page, so be sure to check that out. And the brand new benefit for February and moving forward is actually a tarot card of the week, little mini energy report that goes out at like, I think 1 a.m. Central each Sunday. So like you can pop into Patreon on Sundays and read the energy for the week. And it's just like a little snippet. So just like little micro blurbs of really helpful distilled information for you for the week. And that's available to every paid tier on my Patreon. So I would love to have you over there. If you have any questions, ideas for the pod, that sort of thing, hit me up at hello@meganwinkler.com. Find out more about my work at meganwinkler.com. And come say hi on Instagram at It's Megan Winkler. I'm also on LinkedIn. So if you're hanging out over there, come say hi. Just search for my name. I'm very easy to find. And I'll love seeing you in my DMs. So thanks again for listening. I hope that this quick little episode helps and that you are doing well out there. Please take care of yourself. Stay hydrated. Stay safe. And as always, stay magical. Bye.